We've all debated this. The Avengers versus the X-Men, two of Marvel's most iconic super teams finally clashing head-on. On one side stand the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Vision, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Captain Marvel. On the other side of the X-Men, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Jean Grey, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Iceman, Rogue, Beast, Quicksilver, Gambit, Mystique, Magneto, and Professor Charles Xavier. Both teams are stacked with raw power, elite strategy, and abilities that can completely reshape a battlefield. But when these two forces finally collide, who actually comes out on top? Let's break it down. At the center of the Avengers stands Captain America. Steve Rogers is far beyond peak human. He's gone toe-to-toe with Iron Man, briefly held back Thanos, and consistently outskills opponents who are physically stronger than him. His real advantage isn't just strength, it's leadership, combat intelligence, and the ability to keep fighting no matter the odds. Backing him up is Iron Man, a walking weapons platform. Nanotech armor, energy blast, flight, and advanced AI combat processing make Tony Stark one of the most versatile fighters on the field. But despite all that firepower, he has a critical weakness. Against someone who controls magnetism, his tech can become a liability almost instantly. Then there's Thor, one of the biggest hitters in the entire fight. Thor tanked the full force of a dying star and survived planet-level destruction. With Stormbreaker in hand, he can fly, summon lightning, and overpower Infinity Stone energy. His durability and godly power make him one of the hardest characters here to put down. And if Thor represents divine power, the Hulk represents pure rage. The Hulk has destroyed Leviathans with a single punch, held up collapsing structures, and grows stronger the angrier he becomes. There is no mutant on this roster that can physically overpower him in a straight fight. Adding to the Avengers' firepower is Captain Marvel, and she's a massive problem for the X-Men. She flew straight through Thanos' warship like it was nothing and survived a direct Power Stone enhanced punch from Thanos. With cosmic energy, flight, and near unmatched durability, she turns the tide of the battle the moment she enters it. Then there's Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff operates at reality warping levels of power. She completely overwhelmed Thanos in direct combat, forcing him to rain fire from his own army just to survive. Her telekinesis, energy manipulation, and mind control abilities make her one of the most dangerous Avengers on the field. And when her emotions take over, her power becomes even harder to contain. Doctor Strange adds another layer of danger. He doesn't need brute force. With time manipulation, portal control, and the ability to trap enemies in the mirror dimension, Strange can remove key threats from the battlefield with a single well-placed spell. Vision rounds out the Avengers' heavy hitters with density manipulation, phasing, and powerful energy beams. But against someone like Magneto, his reliance on metal makes him extremely vulnerable. Spider-Man brings super strength, insane agility, and sharp combat instincts. He's a great support fighter, but against top-tier mutants, he's not a decisive force on his own. Ant-Man brings something most fighters on this battlefield don't: unpredictability. Scott Lang can shrink down to subatomic levels, slip past offenses, and disable enemies from the inside. He's infiltrated highly secure facilities, sabotaged advanced tech, and survived the quantum realm. And when he goes giant, he brings building-level strength and crowd control that can completely disrupt the battlefield. He's not a top-tier damage dealer, but as a tactical wildcard, Ant-Man creates openings that the Avengers can capitalize on. Black Panther's vibranium suit allows him to absorb and redirect energy, making him an elite tactician and close-range combatant. Meanwhile, Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and Black Widow are all highly skilled, but against Omega-level mutants, they function more as support than game-changers. On the other side of the battlefield stand the X-Men. Leading the charge is Wolverine, with an adamantium skeleton and a healing factor that shrugs off bullets, explosions, and impalement. Wolverine is almost impossible to put down. Decades of combat experience make him relentless. He doesn't need to win quickly. He just needs to outlast you. Cyclops brings devastating optic blasts capable of leveling structures. His offense is terrifying, but his durability is a weakness. He hits hard, but he goes down if hit back. Storm commands the battlefield from above. Lightning storms, hurricanes, and atmospheric pressure manipulation make her incredibly dangerous. However, while her power output is massive, her durability doesn't match the gods and monsters she's facing. Then there's Jean Grey. Once the Phoenix Force takes over, the entire fight changes. She disintegrates matter at a molecular level, wields telekinesis on a massive scale, and casually dismantles both Magneto and military forces. When the Phoenix is active, conventional combat no longer applies. Magneto is the X-Men's greatest battlefield controller. He can lift stadiums, rip bridges apart, and manipulate metal on a massive scale. Iron Man is disabled almost instantly. Vision becomes a liability. Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther's tech lose effectiveness. Entire sections of the Avengers roster are neutralized the moment Magneto takes control of the environment. Charles Xavier may be physically fragile, confined to a wheelchair, but mentally he's God tier. He can freeze entire crowds, rewrite memories, and completely control minds. One successful mental attack on the right Avenger could end the fight before it truly begins. Colossus brings super strength and a metal body, but even at his best, he's still nowhere near the Hulk's level. Rogue's power absorption makes her dangerous, but it requires physical contact, an extremely risky strategy against Avengers' heavy hitters. Iceman operates at Omega-level ice manipulation, capable of freezing massive areas and restraining powerful opponents, though permanently putting down top tiers remains a challenge. Nightcrawler is a teleporting assassin, perfect for disruption and surprise attacks. Quicksilver brings overwhelming speed to the X-Men. He moves so fast the world appears nearly frozen, allowing him to disarm enemies, reposition allies, and strike before most opponents can react. He isn't invincible, but if ignored, his speed can disrupt formations and swing the opening moments of the fight in the X-Men's favor. Mystique adds deception to the mix, infiltrating, impersonating, and sowing chaos behind enemy lines. Beast and Gambit are skilled and dangerous, but their limited durability keeps them from dominating prolonged battles. Captain America may have the edge in strength, speed, and tactics against Wolverine, but he cannot put him down. Wolverine was engineered as a weapon, and his healing factor allows him to outlast Steve in the long run. Colossus against the Hulk isn't close. Hulk overwhelms him with raw strength until Colossus is eventually smashed. Storm's lightning may slow Thor down, but it won't stop him. Thor has tank star-level energy. Storm cannot put him down, and eventually, Thor wins. Magneto against Iron Man and Vision is complete domination. This is Magneto's playground. Against Thor, Magneto's chances hinge on control. If he can manipulate Stormbreaker and land a clean hit, Thor could fall. But Magneto will not survive a direct strike from Thor. This matchup ends fast, one way or the other. Charles Xavier remains the ultimate wild card. If he locks onto Hulk, Thor, or Scarlet Witch early, the X-Men gain a massive advantage. And finally, it comes down to Scarlet Witch versus Phoenix Jean Grey. Wanda has reality-warping moments that can change everything, but Phoenix Jean disintegrates matter effortlessly. Unless Wanda ends a fight instantly, the Phoenix overwhelms her. In the end, the Avengers dominate in durability, teamwork, and raw physical power. Thor, Hulk, and Captain Marvel make this an incredibly difficult fight for the X-Men. But the X-Men have two decisive win conditions: the Phoenix Force and Charles Xavier's mind control. Most X-Men can be knocked out, but the Phoenix cannot. Once the Phoenix fully emerges, Avengers begin falling one by one. This is a brutal, high-difficulty battle. But in the end, the X-Men win, not because they're tougher, not because they're stronger, but because the Phoenix Force is simply too much. And with Xavier controlling the battlefield mentally, the Avengers eventually fall. But that's just one take. Who do you think wins? Did we miss a matchup? Or do the Avengers still take it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.